Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chronically Online Podcast. The sound levels look good. They do. Okay, good. I was just looking over my shoulder.
Oh, yeah. We've got it sorted. We've got the sound levels right here, baby.
It's all good. So this is episode 8, I think. What the fuck is that? I don't know. Episode 8. So I don't know how we're getting through these. But this is the podcast where we talk about marketing, memes, geeky stuff from the point of view of two marketing experts who also are absolute nerds.
Allegedly.
Yeah, so if you like the sound of that, please give it a listen. Give it a listen for a couple of minutes and see if you like it. If you don't like it, then we don't want you anyway. Fuck off.
Gang! To this day! No, yeah. It's cool. There's been plenty of clips, folks. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's fine. No one listens to the whole thing anyway.
Yeah.
So, first thing today, we're going to be talking about memes, and one of the things that I think hasn't died, it's just been kind of still going, but it's kind of evolved.
Yep.
Slime ASMR videos.
Yep.
Just slime ASMR. It's become this new thing now where tools are involved, and it's specifically
it's elaborate.
There's a specific type where the camera just looks down at a big ball of slime, different things involved it, like you put little Lego figures or little blocks in it, or little nuts, I don't know, and a spoon comes out and like scoops a bit, and then it splodges it back, and then scoops more and then splodges it back.
I mean,
My wife Sarah's obsessed.
Yeah.
It's weird as hell, and I think it's gross. It doesn't work on me at all. But like you said, you like that kind of ASMR ear stuff, don't you?
I mean, I get it I get it more from visual ASMR because it's usually stitched. Not stitched, it would be duetted with a podcast clip. So it'd be us talking while someone fucks around with slime.
Yeah.
And that keeps me occupied, from an ADHD point of view.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the ADHD
I rarely get
style.
slime by itself.
Okay.
And it's maybe because, I haven't interacted with it, but I will get them all the time and just be staring at whatever the hell they've created on that side.
Yeah.
While I listen to people talk about, I don't know, because I was looking at the slime, right?
Yeah.
So that's a thing. But I suppose from a marketing point of view, let's see if we can break it down cerebrally, scientifically. Why do you think that works? Why do you think it grabs our attention?
Yeah, I think because there's an element of it where, as a viewer, you want to see things touched. You want to know how it feels. You know what I mean? Like, you want to see it.
Great phrasing.
Yeah, you want to. As marketers, you want to see things touched.
You want to touch it, don't you?
So that's how slime works. But yeah, I think the way that it works with the ones I've seen, because Sarah will show me the clips. Go, hey, look at this, and there's no podcast clip. I know what you mean, but it's just literally the slime video, like the full portrait of the screen.
She's just locked in.
Yeah, legit locked in, and then looking at it like this, like a solid minute. And I don't know, but yeah, from a marketing point of view, I think we like those. I don't know how to describe it, but like it triggers something in our brain, like a casino bell and the lights going off, ding 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 ding. We're just attracted to visceral things, I think, as monkeys. It's weird. Yeah,
I think there's probably two things going on because there's so many different forms of ASMR, right? So I used to get the the colourful sand and people building stuff out of that. Like I used to get that way more than like I ever got slime videos. I think slime has many things. I think there's a generational factor to slime because slime's a more popular product now.
Okay.
Amongst Gen Z and Gen Alpha than it has been for like older Gen Z millennial up, because we had more things like sand or Lego, right? Because that's the stuff that would lock me in, right? So there's that element to it. There's the cerebral touch element, like the weird sensation where if you look at something, you know what it would feel like on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah.
And you're just like, why is that so accurate? And now you're just going to stare around the room looking at different things. Now you can feel it on your tongue. Congratulations. It's like one of those weird, I don't know, I'm not sure what to call it. It's a phenomenon that's always existed, but I think there's an element of that to it. That the slime, there's a tactile, like I want to feel it through the screen, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
And there's also a completionist element, which for me makes sense from the building sandcastle, knocking it down point of view. Because that's the ones that lock me in, because it's the before and after. Similar thing happens for cleaning videos. So your industrial cleaning folk, all that. If you're not doing before and after vids of all of the cleaning you're doing, whether it's B2B or B2C, you're missing out on your biggest market. Same goes for ear specialists and earwax removals, pimple poppers. They all fall in a similar category of that before and after. How much can they see removed, and how much can you build and then knock down? But the slime, for me, is slightly outside of that. I don't know, the completionist element doesn't really fit, unless, because I've seen a lot of stuff where you mix glitter and like other stuff in it, maybe it's to see what it looks like after all the stuff is added, because that would change the texture in your mind. Bearing in mind, you're just like, it's like a Futurama and a Hypno Toad. Just,
it is that, because even if you are watching it, you're not really doing anything. You're just
Yeah.
sat there with it, with not even like in your full vision. It's just that. So you're not really experiencing it. That's why it doesn't make sense to me.
No.
If it was a VR situation, then I would get it.
Yeah,
I think.
and I feel this is very dependent on the person. Because like we will all prefer something over another. Like I'm a fiend for earwax removals. I love them. I love them. There's so much comes out that you're like, sometimes you're just waiting for because they almost get the bit, and they're like, go on, get the bit.
If you check your algorithm, it'll just be like ear close-ups, and that's it.
Like somebody get this guy on the list. But then some people hate earwax removals, but they love a pimple pop. I can't stand pimple popping.
Yeah.
That's hella gross. But I can't say anything because I'm an earwax guy. So I'm sure Freud would have something to say about all of this.
It's harmless. It's harmless. There are worse things you could be like, indulgently like browsing on Instagram, I guess.
There's worse things to goon to on the internet. So
there are. I mean, if that's what you're getting out of the earwax, then I get it.
Also, I suppose this could be a marketing thing. But everyone will pretend that they don't know it, but you do know it. The company JerkMate has officially made competitive ranks. Like, I'm talking like Overwatch MLG gaming ranks to see who can be the top gooner in the world.
What do you mean? What have they done? What do you mean? They've
entered
ranks. What do you mean?
They're just seeing who beats them the most in the world, bro. I think they must check how much people are logging in and clocking those hours.
Oh, God.
To make meat beating competitive is insane to me. Shouts out to JerkMate, because that's one of the funniest marketing moves ever. They're going to create proper rankings. Bronze, silver, gold, very similar to competitive gaming, which makes me laugh even more.
But with like Guinness World Records, they need an official there monitoring it. Is that like, how else would they prove it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they must be doing it on hours clocked.
Yeah, God.
I mean, I can't really look into it more without getting an incog tab out and deleting the history. But like, that's crazy work from JerkMate.
Chronically Online after dark.
Yeah. Big time. Only in the Patreon.
Well, Slime doesn't go that far. Slime is a lot less exciting than that. I think that's my point. Is that like the way, to me, it doesn't really sustain as like a type of content I would suggest from a marketing point of view.
It just
there's no
appears.
sustain to it. Yeah, it appears, and I think that unless you're someone who really locks in, it's over in 5 seconds. You go, okay, that's boring. That's not really good content in my mind. But maybe I'm weird.
I mean, it can be used. I'm trying to think of what brands could ever take advantage of it.
Yeah, right.
Like, if you're a toy company and you sell slime, obviously you should be on that like Stinkorn shit. Basically, you should be doing slime ASMR vids that duet your other vids to get them more views, so on and so forth. Like, and just doubling down on it, introducing your other toy ranges into your slime and all that, and seeing how you can make that a thing, I guess. But because it's good for viewer stats and viewer retention stats. Because most, especially TikTok, viewers retained is their like favorite statistic. Yeah. So it's how do you use those kind of videos that are a bit mindless to up level those things? I mean, you remember when we tested podcast clips underneath game footage, and it's still our most viewed video to this day from my old agency. That's wild.
Yeah, that could so be an entire kind of report, an entire like study piece to go, okay, what could you show alongside a podcast clip and why, and which would be the best performing with which group? There's so many things you could, like Subway Surfers, like you say, or any other video game. The chopping sand thing. There's another one of, I've seen polystyrene being put through like metal burners.
Yeah. I've seen welding as well.
Oh,
I get a lot of welding. I'm not sure if this is just like how alpha can you get your duet to be. And there's some guy trucking, lumbering. But yeah, it's weird.
It is.
The more you look into it, you're like, why?
Yeah, it does feed into, unfortunately, the stigma of, ADHD, can't look at one thing. Yeah. But no, slime though, I don't know if I'd say slime is a worthwhile recommendation from a marketing point of view, but maybe you're into the slime stuff, or your product is slime.
Enough for it to be applicable.
Yeah.
Because you can get some actual like for-use slime that is for cleaning out the dust in your car, for instance, because it gets in the crevices in the fans that you can't really get into. That's the first time I saw it. So there's plenty of people that sell car accessories and then showing how it works. Then now they're accidentally in the slime category, and you can get that. So if it's applicable, go for it. Car companies mess around with ASMR. Do you remember the piss take ones where it was very, very attractive model ladies obviously being hired to show off the Mercedes, and she just kept going, Mercedes, and everyone's taking the piss going Toyota. Yeah. So It could be something like that as well. You know, local Ford garage, get the slime out, be like, Ford.
I'd actually like to see that one. They're just hurling slime at a
Yeah,
Ford
just dash it. You just want to see the quality of our windows.
Yeah.
Ford. That's what it feels like to drive the new Ford F-150.
See, Elon should have smashed some slime on that Tesla a couple of years ago and not the brick.
Just smashed his head on it, mate.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah. The marketing chat I want to do this episode is about this amazing use of cross-platform management, basically. Ooh. So I was on TikTok and I stumbled across this video by someone called Brandon Toes. I think that's how you say it.
Please tell me this isn't going where I think it's going.
It's not. That's the other Brandon Toes. No, it's Toews, I think. Brandon Toes. And he is a sound engineer in a music studio. And the way it worked was, I think some other people might actually know this, it was quite a big series of videos. The way it works is he gets a really famous drummer from a rock band in and shows them a rock song that they have not heard before, but takes the drums out of it. And this world famous drummer, will hear this song for the first time ever, and they have to improvise a drum line just from hearing it. So the one I saw was the Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer, Chad, the one who looks like Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
He heard a 30 Seconds to Mars song for the first time ever without the drums, and he just had to kind of just go boom, 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 boom,
yeah.
like I just improvised.
It's not an easy job.
Yeah, unbelievable. And he was like changing the rhythm as the chorus and verse went, hearing it for the first time. Unbelievable, absolutely amazing. And what I did was I thought, okay, that was a cool 40 seconds, but I want to watch the whole song. You know, I want to watch the whole video. So then I checked on Brandon's own profile, clicked it. He said, "Hi, I am a sound engineer for a brand called Drumeo." So I went onto YouTube, searched Drumeo, and that's, I don't know whether it's like his own founded company or whether he just works there. Basically, Drumeo has its own big YouTube channel, and it has the full 10-minute interviews of Chad from the Chili's doing the drumming thing, 1,000 other bloody drummers, like just doing the same thing, all these like 10-minute interviews where they do this song, this improvised song. And it was such an excellent use of multiple platforms.
Yeah.
Such an excellent use of TikTok for the short, let's just burst everything in the first few seconds, then we'll try and hook them for 30 seconds, but use YouTube for the longer form 10-minute stuff. And it just struck me, it was so well done, so well managed from a kind of marketing point of view.
And I'm guessing they had quite a few, probably hundreds of videos on their YouTube channel.
Yeah, loads. This was only one format. There were other videos on other formats they had on YouTube. Yeah, it was so impressive. Yeah,
and you know, it probably took them a long time before a drummer that famous would have gone on there as a YouTube concept.
I didn't go back too far when I was scrolling on their feed of videos.
You can get like a general gist usually. You know, he could be a functioning influencer for all we know, but like to get him to participate in something like that is really cool, right? And it shows the social equity you have to put into to get to that point where now you've been exposed to that brand's content completely organically, very similar to a content creator, which is every other word that comes out of my mouth these days. But I love that because they've also put the work in as well. It's not like one viral ad that they'll try and ride high on forever and then it goes away. They've built that up and up and up. And the YouTube to other socials pipeline, I think it's essential for most brands now.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of brands who I see the first clip of something that they've been putting work into their YouTube channel for ages that I didn't know it was from them until I looked it up as well. So I've gone on similar journeys. But that makes me love them all the more. Like, because they've actually put the work in.
Yeah, it shows that someone who's kind of reasonably in charge said, oh, no, wait, let's not just shove everything on YouTube mindlessly. Let's put this on YouTube because it belongs there, and let's use the other platforms to feed into YouTube.
Yeah.
Podcasting, of course, is something me and you have like done across different platforms.
Yeah.
With Spotify, we talked about it the other week. Spotify having their own mini clips, which feeds into their own platform. But yeah, in the old days, you wouldn't use Spotify to promote your podcast. It would be where the podcast sits, and then use other platforms.
Because it used to be one of the main criticisms, like any podcasting platform that was audio, you know, you were either a famous podcast that people already listened to, or were basically in that, especially for Apple Podcasts, in that top chart. Or no one listens, quite frankly, because that was also the main engine for discovery. So Spotify building in an engine for discovery is bloody good. I mean, it's the same. It's the same benefit you get from YouTube Shorts. That platform and channel discovery is extremely useful for both podcasts and normal YouTube channels because people understand that that's the game. I'm still waiting for Twitch to build in a clip engine. I have no idea why it's not, because every Twitch streamer still has to go on other platforms, bring people back over. But if Twitch had that built, and they might have it, but I haven't seen it.
Okay.
So it's obviously not advertised well enough if they do have it, which seems bonkers to me.
Yeah, that does seem bonkers. That I don't use Twitch that much, but when I have used it, it seems like when a stream is done, it is a challenge to find these clips. It's not. Yeah. Yeah.
And it depends on what type of user you are. Like, no one sits there to re-watch a 3-hour plus VOD that's already finished, right? No. They'd rather go and see the YouTube highlight that's cut up on that creator's YouTube channel, which they will undoubtedly do. There are other creators, for instance, Hassan Abi, who's can be controversial depending on what political circles you're in, but he's got this kind of open use agreement with his community where he won't copy strike anyone that's using his content. Right. He allows other people to make a living off of what he's doing as well, because he's already paid enough. So he just goes, clip the hell out of it, like do what you need to. So there'll be content channels that edit and distribute way faster than he does. So we'll have Hassan Abi Archive or Hassan Daily, which are their own YouTube channels that are then extract those clips and get them out within hours of him saying it, as opposed to when his goes out 24 hours, 48 hours later. But yeah, the platform distribution is almost just as important as the content. I think you could be making pretty bad content, but if distributed smartly enough and aggressively enough, you can grow much quicker than a lot of creators can. It's just extremely time intensive. Yeah. Because if you use third-party tools, sometimes you miss some functionality, some features, some collabing tools, all that kind of stuff. But if you choose to do individually, Lord of mercy, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Was it Hassan, his name was?
Yeah.
Hassan, yeah.
So Hassan Pike, he's a political commentator. He does. Yeah. He streams 8 hours a day, daily, basically, covering
so it's
the
his
news.
Job.
Yeah. He covers the news. He's been doing it for a long time on other news networks. But he's, I think, he's like the third biggest streamer on Twitch currently, although his rankings change a lot.
Of course.
Basically, whenever something happens more strenuous in the world, real serious, he'll go up the rankings. He's kind of one of the only left-leaning voices politically on Twitch. Right. So it's a very interesting place for him to be. But yeah, it's cool to see how it's done. But he's rare a case that won't kind of like go, other people can make stuff from my stuff. So most creators don't do that. Yeah.
So even these channels that say Hassan Daily and Hassan Archive and Hassan Highlights, they're not actually his channels.
No. They're just fans of his.
Yeah.
And he's just gone, you can use it, guys.
Right.
And they make a living off of clipping him, giving it the right thumbnail, giving it the right title, and make the revenue from that YouTube channel and other platforms they distribute on.
Wow. Yeah, well, I suppose that's one way of doing it, of course, that if you are a brand who knows that you're going to be doing long form, short form, or having these different platforms, then, the best way to do it is to go, which one belongs where? Like, if I do have a podcast, let's put it on Spotify and put tiny clips on Spotify and TikTok. Yeah. Let's change them depending on YouTube. Like, we're thinking of putting this one on YouTube with YouTube Shorts as well to promote that.
Yeah, because some will always do better in other places. And sometimes you really have to use platforms regularly. So one thing I see a lot is like, a lot of brands I talk to is like, we want to get on TikTok. I was like, well, which one of you use TikTok?
Yeah.
None of us have it at the moment.
Yeah. Who's the fan in the room? Oh, none of them. Oh. Well,
sometimes it makes me want to scream. Yeah. I'm like, it's not hard.
Yeah.
Just download it and use it. Problem is when you first download a new app, whether it's TikTok or anything else, your algorithm isn't custom yet. So it's just going to be a bunch of generic bollocks, for the lack of a better term, which then sometimes it proves to people that TikTok is what they thought it was all along. And this is specifically from a TikTok point. Most people have YouTube and other stuff. Whereas if you gave it a minute, it would learn you to a creepy degree, which then it becomes bias. Good. Yeah. So sometimes, and people switch off. Also, if anyone out of Gen Z, basically, sometimes they get this superiority complex around TikTok where they just go, not me. I'm not one of these Gen Z people that uses TikTok because I'm special.
I have a long attention span, so I don't
I remember I used to read books when I was young. Like, first of all, give it a rest. Like, no one's above good content distribution. Like, you just that separation of personal feelings towards an app and what it could be used for from a commercial standpoint or building good brand equity, it needs to be conquered and addressed. I don't think I'll go 1 week without talking to someone who either thinks they're above TikTok or doesn't have it but wants to use it. And I'm like, why wouldn't that be the first thing that you do? I cannot fathom it. It's like, I want to start a YouTube channel. You've been on YouTube? Nah.
But my grandson talks about
Yeah.
TikTok. I want to have a go at it.
And I hate painting everyone who's out of Gen Z with that brush, but a lot of them act like that. And again, this is how broader culture bleeds into like marketing distribution, because broader culture speaking, every generation for all time has probably beefed against each other.
Sure, yeah.
And I think it spills into this.
Yeah.
Because taking a stance against TikTok and social media is a part of that broader, we're better than you because we had to play outside.
Yeah.
Like
we touched grass.
Yeah. So
well, I can't claim either, though. I'm a millennial. I'm very in the middle of millennial.
And depending on what blog you read, I'm
Sure,
either the oldest Gen Z or the youngest millennial.
Sure, yeah.
So I think that there's like a 3-year period that we're called Zennials or whatever, but like
Fair.
whatever BuzzFeed wants to call it,
Yeah.
like all you got to do is just look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Just use it.
And if you are one of these companies as well that thinks, okay, I want to give TikTok a go for our little clips, our daily behind the scenes stuff, fine, start by downloading it. That's basically what
it will be the app that catches you the quickest for not posting natively. You will be found out immediately because your content just won't go anywhere. Like you can tell, and any TikTok user will know this. Like you'll just see something like, well, that's not supposed to be there, and they'll just go. And wider societal problems about TikTok aside, the product is what it is at the moment, so we have to take advantage of it. But that kind of goes for any kind of reels or vertical video scrolling networks, which all of them are now. Vertical video, I think, is finally come to LinkedIn desktop, or it will very shortly, or at least has in the States, according to Social Media Today. It's been on mobile for a long time. So again, even LinkedIn content will have to bend the knee to TikTok style videos, at least from an aspect ratio standpoint. I'm sure you can upload some nice fancy stuff in landscape, but it probably won't do as well. It does depend on what the user uptake is on staying on that feed, scrolly. I'm interested to see how far that goes, because I think there's a certain tolerance for work-based videos you can have as an individual before it starts even making you feel bad about your own career progress, or you're sick of people telling you to get up at 3 a.m. and like run in the cold and get in a cold plunge, and it's like, oh, bugger off, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I find myself ditching the feed on LinkedIn video very quickly compared to others.
Which brings an opportunity. Those who embrace comedy and lightheartedness on LinkedIn early on will be the ones that win a wider audience.
It's doing something different.
Yes. So please do bring levity and a breath of fresh air to that constant feed of ROI, distribution, wake up early, do sit-ups. And then if you're the one that's having a laugh out of all that, you'll probably win. So take yourself a little less seriously on LinkedIn, which I think is always needed to be the case, quite frankly, because people take LinkedIn far too seriously. And then you'll see all the wars of people going, you're supposed to post that on LinkedIn. I'll do whatever I want, mate.
Yeah, I saw one of them today, actually. I saw one of them just today saying, this isn't Facebook. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Post what you want. Yeah.
I can't wait till someone comments something like that on my feed. Yeah, like the fact that you use Facebook is nerdy enough, bro. You're a fucking loser, dude. Yeah. I don't hate Facebook that much. I do a little bit.
Well, multiple platforms is the way to distribute, but that's the kind of thing that if you are a brand, it's worth talking to a specialist about that, because it is quite a jungle to hear, okay, so what do I post on TikTok? What do I post on YouTube? Spotify versus LinkedIn? Talk to a specialist about distributing your kind of marketing pieces across multiple platforms. Yeah,
it's become the conversation I'm having the most, and drop me a message or email me if you need any help on that specifically, because finding the perfect standpoint between brand risk and what everyone's comfortable with and where you can distribute and how you can distribute it is a really funny line. And sometimes it takes an external entity to make that small push so you can do something slightly different, whether that is embracing TikTok or posting YouTube Shorts for the first time, because it might be the first time someone in C-suite has heard of it and it has to go up the chain for approval. A lot of that can be tough from an internal advocacy point of view, because you don't want to put yourself in a bad position. Whereas someone like me would just go, don't be silly, use TikTok, and then someone will go, oh, yeah, that probably makes sense. And then it takes a risk off of your back, because ultimately that's usually the case. But yes, let me know.
Yeah. Well, enough sensible work stuff. Let's chat about some geeky stuff.
Fuck all that, bro.
Yeah. There's a game, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and I've bought it. I downloaded it the other day. It was one of the games where it's been on my wish list for bloody months.
You played the first one, right?
Yeah, played it for a good chunk, good 10, 20 hours.
Yeah,
I gave
because it is that type of game you have to you definitely go from zero to hero from what I've heard of that game. Because I watched the reviews on both, but I haven't actually played either.
Right.
So this would be a good experience for you to explain it.
It is. Well, you would know from the reviews that you've heard how kind of challenging it is from the first game.
Yeah.
The second game, because I've been playing it a bunch now, not a lot, I still want to get back into it. I'm looking forward to it. It's easier. So it has this amazing kind of, the first and second game has this amazing sword combat way of controlling it, which I've never seen before in any other game.
Yeah, it's hyper-realism. I think it's very, that's what makes it challenging.
It is, yeah. And the way you move the mouse just goes like that, okay, oh, you're aiming up there now, then you're aiming up there, like that. And it's really clever.
The console experience is for that.
Yeah, I actually did the first one on console. And
and they switched to PC for the second one. Yeah, I thought it might be.
Awful, yeah. But no, what I'm trying to say is it was suffered from this thing, at least the first game, suffered from this problem where it had a unique selling point that was its strength and weakness. So its strength was, it's so realistic. Its weakness was, it's so realistic. So a really good example in the first game, I think it didn't even give you an achievement or anything, didn't even notify you that you've discovered a cave, right? This is just an example that I came across.
You're just in a cave, so you better realise you've discovered it.
Pretty much. I just stumbled upon a cave. And I thought, oh, okay, this has definitely been developed. The developer did something. They designed this cave. It was a good walk in there, right? So a good kind of 20-second walk to get to the edge. And there was nothing in there. No achievement. No item to pick up. You just walk to the end of the cave and go, oh, that's a cave. Would have been in medieval Europe. Great. Realism, and that was it. And it was, and I was thinking, do I want this? It's based in Bohemia in 15th century, so Germany around that area.
Such a UK experience.
No.
This is a cave.
Yeah.
Right.
It pretty much is
sneeze. Right.
yeah. Basically, they all have English accents because, of course, the accents kind of mean nothing.
It's kind of a given, isn't it?
Yeah. But no, that's something that at that point I thought, okay, don't know if I want to do another 80 hours of this. I did 10, 20 hours already. I'm nah, I don't want to play this uber realism thing where you encounter these barriers. Whereas the second game is fun so far.
Nice.
So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's got rid of a lot of useless caves.
Less useless bits. I think they tweaked it. Yeah. I think with the first game, they kind of had slightly lightning in a bottle where it wasn't a huge dev
I don't
team.
think they realised the success they'd have. It's a game that was quite a big cult following.
Exactly.
And I think that's part of the good part of it. So I think there was more expectations and probably more budget given for the second game.
Oh, yeah.
So they were able to do more, which makes sense. That was probably some kind of default texture pack cave that they had. The developer had in the back pocket. So if there was nothing in there, then they were just we got to bulk out the environment.
I'd rather it be nothing. Just take away the cave. I don't just live in grass. I don't know. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say it was so real that I tripped over a rock because it was dark and I hit my head and I lost all my save points.
Oh man, that would have been better. Literally nothing, just empty path. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. Have you been playing any kind of uber realistic games that you want to okay, well, why don't they just add in some magic or something?
I don't think I play anything.
Marvel Rivals still?
Yeah. I'm so locked into Marvel Rivals.
So that's not realistic.
I've got the date saved for when they release 2 new characters. They're releasing the Human Torch and the Thing.
Oh, cool.
Feb 21st, and I'm like,
is that to come with a new film? The new Fantastic Four? Did I make that up?
Well, the trailer came out fairly recently, so I assumed that was the goal. But I don't care because it's clobbering time, baby. It's clobbering time. So you find your main. So in any hero shooter, you can kind of lock in on a few characters in different sections because there's no way you can be good at everything or play different characters a lot of the time because sometimes they just don't go to your play style. But
and other people will take the characters first or something. Is that right?
Yeah. So it's there's 2 different ways you can do a hero shooter. So just anyone can pick anything. Mm-hmm. Or there's role queue, which is there's DPS, tank, healer, and so on and so forth, and you can only have 1 in each or something like that. Yeah. They have kind of 3 categories: strategist, vanguard, duelist. But they don't really do it like that. They just kind of go. You can have 1 character of each. So sometimes it depends on the lobby. You can have a very respectable lobby where people, when they hover over a character, it will show on their name. So you can almost formulate squads without insta-locking it in. Depends on if you're in quick match or if you're in competitive. because when you're in competitive, because of like how obviously in comics there's been a bunch of team ups, what makes Marvel Rivals unique is because you can create different team ups. So, for instance, Winter Soldier, Punisher, and Rocket, for instance, they have like an infinite ammo thing in like a certain range, so they can throw their team up down. And now I don't have to reload, just infinite bullets. And
that's cool as hell, actually.
It is really cool. Like Groot and Rocket have a team up where Rocket will sit on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Like Venom, Penny Parker, Spider-Man, they have a team up, right? It's incredible how like you can create very comic book moments in a very competitive hero shooter, which is what I think makes it really different. And it's one of the reasons I think they've put the nail in the coffin for Overwatch. Because there's no such creativity, and Overwatch is dead anyway. But yeah, I'm loving it because you can create so many of these moments. I'm just fully addicted, mate. It's been a long time since the game gave me more energy than it took.
Wow.
You know, when you used to play games and it used to be like you were on, you wanted the next one, before you know it, oh my god, it's AM something. Yeah, it's brought me back, baby.
Nice.
Brought me back.
But has there been any moment where you've been playing and thought, this needs an empty cave with nothing in it?
There are
no achievements.
There are certainly dead ends in certain maps where I've been running away from something and I'm like, why is this here? And I just get my head blown off. Because certain characters, like, sometimes you create like rivalries between one character or another on the other team. And there are like, duelists will often go up against or try and take down tanks. Right, because like they're the only ones that can eat away at their health alongside other tanks, right? And for some reason, every time I play against a Magneto, they hate me. They will purposely target me throughout the whole thing.
And who are you playing as?
I'm playing as a Winter Soldier.
Right, okay.
So I'm not sure how much comic book crossover there is, but like every time I play a Magneto, because I'm like just chipping away at his health from like a further away, he just kind of ominously floats towards you. And because he's got so much health and he's got a shield, there's nothing much you can do. And some characters have good escapability, so they have good powers to get away. They can zip away, fly, whatever. Winter Soldier's got like one jet punch, and it takes like 10, 11 seconds to reload. So once you've used it, now you're just kind of going at a snail's pace compared to Magneto just ominously following you. You know it's a proper rivalry when someone's chosen to solo ult you. So you build up a meter to your ultimate attack, and I always get solo ulted by Magnetos for some reason. So
yeah. Every time you told me about Marvel Rivals before, I've been thinking, yeah, it's kind of cool. I'll get it at some point. You know. The way you described that actually makes me want to play it more.
The fact that it's a free game blows my mind. Because you also put a lot of effort into so like you get certain animations for if you become MVP or something, or when you set character select. Already just the different costumes you can pick, the lore behind the costumes. I think there's actually certain comic excerpts as well you get with it. You know, just some new characters being brought in. So they brought in Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman as their first 2 new character drops. That was so cool just because their powers are so different. Like Mr. Fantastic has one where he just gets really big and he just walks towards you and he's completely invincible. It looks ridiculous, but it then fires back any projectile and just insta one hits you if it hits. If you shoot him enough. So dumb players will just empty clips into Mr. Fantastic and he'll just go and just walk off again as his stretchy arm messes you up. And the community is incredible. Like, this is another thing that that's the lightning in the bottle they've got. Okay. Most characters have their own theme tune outside of their Marvel one. So like Mr. Fantastic is this like rap one because they found this comic panel, him throwing up the 4s, and now he's just basically an online gangster.
That's it.
And then,
that's all
the caption's always like they would hit a sick play, and then this like edit will play, and it's just like, ain't that fantastic? And he'll just throw up the 4s, and every time I play, I'm like, yeah, that's on 4, son. That's on 4. You get so hyped. Wolverine's is like a piss take one because Wolverine has a very overpowered ability, but also if you miss, you look really dumb. Where he just flies at someone like covered in red, all aggressive as he usually does, and you can pick up even like a tank and just fly across the map with them basically.
Nice.
If you miss it, you look like a right idiot and you would fly across the map. So he's got one. I think it's Animals by like Maroon 5.
Yeah, that's not a cool song.
It's not. Yeah. And then the ow plays from it, and as he flies off the map looking like an idiot. Yeah. And it's always like, you know, those really cringy wolf shirts.
Yeah.
Like they've gone full like
against
nerd.
the moon.
Yeah, just like the average Wolverine player, and it's just but everyone's got one. Like Moon Knight has funny memes about him. Jeff the Land Shark is either the world's most wanted criminal or everyone thinks he's like the cutest thing ever.
Okay.
You know, you could go on and on. Like Black Panther's called the Tickle Monster. Like the community gets deep, especially on TikTok. A good panther, by the way, the worst. So
Is
bad.
it?
It'll murder you straight away.
Right. Not worse, like bad to play as.
I've played against one good panther and I couldn't see him. They moved too fast. It's like you can get good players become almost lure accurate with their character.
That's awesome.
So which makes you play it even more. Like when I tell you I get into the Winter Soldier boy, I'm just like, I'll go in because this is my last bit on rivals. I'm sorry. I've told you about this, haven't I? Where if you kill someone with his ultimate, you can go again.
Yeah, and what did plays a sound or something? What's he saying?
Yeah, basically, so the first time you press it, he'll go armed and dangerous, right? Yeah. There'll be a little thing above someone's head, whether you can kill them or not with your ultimate. So the best thing to do is just target whoever's weakest at the time, armed and dangerous, and then you get 8 seconds to activate it again. He just goes, again. Yeah. There is nothing. It's like crack for your ears. Like,
yeah, I bet.
I'm going feral, like trying to find the next person because like everyone could be dead, and you run towards this ball because you've got 8 seconds to use the thing again. There's incredible clips because it doesn't stop. There's no counter on it. There's no limit.
Yeah.
Like,
so you can do the whole match.
You spawn trap people. They're stuck in their thingy, and you'll just wait till one of them comes out again, and just. Oh, it's the best.
Sounds like it needs some empty caves to me.
Oh, mate, they need a place to hide, that's for sure, especially when I'm playing.
Yeah, that's it.
We tell you that. I still haven't played competitive yet, so that's another thing that I've got to do.
Yeah,
but
that's the real
That scares me because then I'm going to care too much about my rank and I'm just going to affect my work life.
Yeah.
We skipping meetings, like, shut up, I've got a rank match.
They won't care about lore and stuff. They'll be like, okay, how many like per second pixel damages can I cause and whatever.
Don't get me started on hitboxes.
Right, okay.
Luna Snow's one's too small. Just can't hit her. I'm just bad at the game.
Maybe
that's
just
just
bad at the
pure excuses.
Yeah. Well, I reckon I'm calling that an episode.
Yeah, I think we should. Otherwise, it'll be a full Marvel Rivals episode.
Yeah, which I want to do actually. That sounds cool as hell.
We definitely need to react to some of the memes. That should be another video we do.
Okay, I need to play it first, and then we'll do a meme reaction.
All right, bet.
That's the plan. So what we're going to do is call it there for episode 8, and what we're going to say is, if you liked the sound of the Chronically Online podcast, then give us a like, give us a subscribe, follow. Let us know in the comments as well what you'd like us to cover as well. Any kind of like strange meme or marketing perspective that you've encountered. What should we discuss? But yeah, for this episode, my name is George, and that is
James.
And we'll see you next time.
Deuces.